Hello, friends. It's me. I'm back. I'm excited. There's more Garfield. I know. A lot of you probably don't like this as much as I do. I don't care. It's my channel. We're gonna read a story that our friend Mandelbrot sent to us. This is called Garfield Broadcast Lasagna. I don't know what that means, but I'm ready to read it. Here we go. Hello once again, Moon. Hello once again. You know what time it is. That's right, it's 2:30. No, it's 11:30. I record these before midnight, thank you very much. Jokes aside, I finally finished my new Garfield story. And while I'm here, I want to correct Gantt chart's Ko-Fi and clarify that I did not write Garfield's Creed. I wrote this, but thank you for the compliment anyway. I remember, yeah, I guess I didn't make it very clear, but I know you didn't write that, but it is really good. Also, Moon seems to have missed my epic joke where one of the words was actually highlighted a link to a song. No, I didn't. I did see that it was a link to a song, but I can't play copyrighted material in videos. That's what will get your video pulled off of YouTube. So while I did see it, and I did open and actually check it out, I couldn't put it in there. But anyway, my last couple of stories had Garfield up against adversaries that Moon wasn't all that familiar with. It's true. It's because I'm old. But in this story, he's up against someone Moon is familiar with. Someone who we're all familiar with, sadly. Who is this foe? Well, you have to read to find out. Garfield. Broadcast Lasagna. It was a glorious morning of joyousness when Garfield and John Arbuckle were enjoying general well-being. Their undisturbed relaxation was punctuated by the scent of lasagna and the sound of flowers blooming. The sound of flowers blooming. I just imagine they're like, and then there's a flower. It sure is peaceful today, said John Arbuckle, with counting blessings. The life of the hero may be furnished with justice dispensing and lady loving, but the importance of calm peacefulness must not go ignored, said Garfield, with wisdom. John Arbuckle then turned the radio for smooth rockin' tunes. Here we go. Up next is Odie's very first hit single, Throw Me a Bone. It sits at number 2 in the week, right behind Garfield's heavy metal song, Lasagna-geddon, said radio DJ with rockin' tunes. We haven't heard from that old mutt since the performance of the Christmas story we saw at one high school. You know, the one that blew up, said Garfield, with interest. Odie's song started with tight, fast drum beat and led to Odie's youthful voice, which was for rapping hot beats. Oh, God. Hey, yo, this is Odie. I'm Def the Top Dog. All the Yankin' boys at the pound fear me. Those who don't choke on eggnog. Okay. Hey, yo, baby, throw me a bone. I'm sweet like an ice cream cone. My singing so hot, my fans always please those who ain't covered in fleas. Well done. What a good singer. Not bad at all for his first performance into the ears of the masses, said John Arbuckle, with impressed. That dog certainly has talent. I'm sure people all over America have been touched by his jams, said Garfield with certainty. I like how my Garfield voice is like a combination of Lorenzo Music and Duke Nukem. Garfield could not be more correct. As meanwhile, in faraway orphanage, orphan children were listening to Odie's awesome singing voice and dancing with glee. This song is amazing, said orphan child number 1 with happiness. I couldn't agree more, said orphan child number 2 with agreeing. Hey, I have an idea. How about we record ourselves singing this song together and show it to the world? That was orphan child number 1, but I just gave him a completely different voice. Fuck it, I'm not doing that line again. With this great idea in their heads, they proceeded to record themselves singing along with Odie and posting the video to YouTube. Man, that sure was fun, said orphan child number 1. You're right, everyone's gonna love it, said orphan child number 2. Orphanage child number 2 was wrong for 2 reasons. Firstly, it was only seen by 3 people, and secondly, there was indeed someone, or rather, something, that did not love their video at all. Mere minutes after posting, an evil noise was heard approaching the orphanage. As the noise approached, it was revealed to be Evil Robot. The evil robot landed in front of Orphanage Child 1 and Orphanage Child 2 with smashing. "Who are you?" said Orphanage Child 1 with immense fear.
I am a digital metallic crushing automaton, or DMCA for short. I am here on behalf of YouTube to destroy you, for you have committed unforgivable copyright crime, as Throw Me a Bone is copyrighted music.
Said the evil robot with heartlessness. With these words, the evil robot then took out 2 AK-47s, stuck them up the boys' noses, and fired thousands of bullets with relentless fury. This caused the boys' heads to swell with lead, like those long balloons that clowns used to make balloon animals. Their heads then exploded at the same time, like a playground merry-go-round in a hyperbolic space, causing all of the bullets to go flying into the air, killing dozens of birds, and the bullets that fell down to the ground proceeded to kill dozens of people. With its job now done, the robot sent a fax to the copyright holder, Garfield, letting him know that his copyright is not being infringed upon. But this fax would come to be YouTube's undoing, because unbeknownst to them, Garfield was not a soulless, money-hungry person, but a real man, hell-bent on justice for all. Back at Garfield's house, Garfield was lounging when he heard his fax machine go off. Garfield then walked to fax machine with curious feet. He looked at the fax and read it.
Dear Garfield, there was a violation of your copyright that occurred at an orphanage. Do not be worrying, as a DMCA was quickly on the scene and obliterated the perpetrators into giblets. Thank you and have a great day. Sincerely, YouTube Incorporated.
Said the letter with tastelessness. Garfield read the letter. His body was filled with raging anger, like tick filling with urine. Ew. Garfield then ripped the letter to pieces with manly hands. "Garfield, that paper's made you quite irritated. What did it do to you?" said John Arbuckle with concern. "An evil corporation saw children listening to music, and apparently they couldn't have that, so they killed them due to legal delusion," said Garfield with information. "Oh my God, panic!" said John Arbuckle with reaction. "It seems justice is called once again. Hold down the fort while I'm gone, John Arbuckle." I couldn't say John for a second there. Jorn Arbuckle. The fuck is wrong with me? Said Garfield. "You know it, Garfield. Show him what it means to be a real man," said John Arbuckle as he tossed Garfield his trusty Desert Eagle. Garfield then hopped in his all-American four-wheel pickup truck and drove off to destroy the legal degenerates. Meanwhile, in the evil lair that is YouTube headquarters, Susan Wojcicki, the evil CEO of YouTube, was having a fancy champagne party with evil clickbait YouTubers. The evil clickbait YouTubers were talking with discussion about all the money they had made and how they've been able to make it. I don't think I know most of these people, so I'm just gonna make up fucking voices. "Oh, my 309th Among Us mod video has surpassed 1 million views," said Sunday with grateful greed. This isn't an exaggeration. He actually made that many. That's fucking terrifying. "Child's play," said Mr. Beast with friendly mocking. "My recent Minecraft videos passed 50 million views." Gloated Mr. Beast with vanity as Susan Wojcicki chortled with approval. "It's such a lovely sight to see my peons gloat about their earnings, and to think none of you would be here without me," said Susan Wojcicki. I like that it's spelled differently every single time. That's amazing. But then, moments of greed were interrupted by an alert from one of the clickbait YouTubers' pocket watches.
Warning, warning. Garfield is approaching Lanky Box's content farm,
said Pocket Watch with warning. Oh dear, he must be attending to important business, said Lanky Box member number 1, with rushing out of room. Yes, I must go as well. Everyone else have a great time, said Lanky Box member number 2, with rushing as well. I don't know what a Lanky Box is. It sounds obscene. Very well. Be sure to like, subscribe, and click that bell on the way out. Oh, said Susan Wojnarowski with humorous farewells. I still am not 100% certain if the bell works. Meanwhile, on All-American Highway, Garfield was cruising in his All-American four-wheel pickup truck with Lasagna license plate, listening to Black Sabbath's Headless Cross album. I don't listen to Black Sabbath. I've only seen video game OSTs, so I just picked one of their albums at random. Tell me if that particular album fits Garfield's character or not. Sabbath is really good, though. It's a fucking good choice. But as Garfield was jamming out to his rockin' tunes, his speakers suddenly turned to static. When the music returned, it was not the blammin' heavy metal Garfield liked, but instead the insolent music made by clickbait YouTuber LankyBox. What is this blasphemy that's entering my brain? Yelled Garfield as he shut off the speakers. That is not music, but the wails of a kid being pushed into 7 consecutively nested lockers, said Garfield with extremely specific truth. Soon, after a bit more driving, Garfield found the source of radio interference. It was a massive pink building with hundreds of lights on the inside, and with YouTube logo on the front. Next to YouTube logo was the massive text that read, LankyBox. The building looked like the concept of a children's cartoon, infested with a physical building-like parasite. Upon seeing this horrendous sight, Garfield hopped out of his all-American four-wheel pickup truck and entered the building with curious catness. The inside of the building looked nothing like the outside. The childish exterior gave way to an intimidating dark maze of corridors and computers. It looked like a glowing spiderweb made of those really old computers that took up an entire room. Garfield walked and walked in sinister hallways, seeing screens displaying graphs and charts until he found the largest room with glowing square on ground. But as Garfield looked to the other side, he saw the evil LankyBox members run in with urgent feet. Oh no, it's the mighty Garfield. We must destroy him before he breaks the Nexus computer. If it's destroyed, we won't be able to upload 8 videos a day, said LankyBox member number 1 with urgent. This isn't a joke, they actually upload that many. In fact, at one point I think they were uploading 24 videos a day. Don't ask me how. Jesus fucking Christ, how do you make that many videos? I have trouble making 1 video a day. I cannot imagine doing 8 videos a day. I would die. I would actually die. Hold your horses, you topsy-tubers. I will destroy you and this Nexus computer before you can even say lasagna, said Garfield in a challenging voice. How did you know that this was the Nexus computer? Said LankyBox member number 2 with horror. 'Cause you just told me, said Garfield with superiority. Now we shall settle this the only way that true men can, said Garfield with bureaucracy as he lifted lead pipes and cords from ground and used them to make a makeshift boxing ring around the Nexus computer. Boxing match, best of 1, said Garfield with sportsmanship. Garfield and the LankyBox members then went to their positions to engage in boxing match. Once they took their spaces, Garfield took out his Desert Eagle and fired a blank into the air to signify the beginning of the match. As the match commenced, Garfield and LankyBox members began to exchange blows and special attacks on one another. It may have been a 2-on-1 match, but with Garfield's manliness, it was actually weighed in his favor. But despite this, the LankyBox members seemed like they were about to beat the odds, as they had Garfield on the ropes. Garfield concluded he had no choice but to use his secret move. Oh, he's got a secret technique. Garfield then took 2 perfectly cooked pieces of emergency lasagna. Emergency lasagna, I love it. And tossed them into the air. He then scarfed down one of them and clapped the other one with his hands at the same time. This gave Garfield a spark of lasagna energy, causing a lasagna shockwave, causing the Lanky Box members to be reduced to their My Little Pony Naruto-themed underwear, immobilizing them with embarrassment. As the Lanky Box members were immobilized, Garfield walked towards them to land a killing blow on both of them. "You boys really lived up to your name. Those sure are some lanky boxers," quipped Garfield with cleverness as he pile-drived both of them into the Nexus computer, causing their guts to spill all over the room, leaving it looking like an irreversible spaghetti disaster. If they ever start a band, Irreversible Spaghetti Disaster is what I'm going to call it. With the delinquents obliterated and the Nexus computer destroyed, Garfield left to continue his quest to YouTube headquarters. But as Garfield was leaving, he heard a sound of desperation. There was a boy and a girl trapped in a test tube full of green liquid, begging for help. Garfield knew what to do and smashed the tubes open, freeing them. As Garfield saw the boy and girl, both parties recognized each other. "Holy shit, it's Garfield, what's poppin'?" said the boy with gangster rap culture. "Yes, it is I, Garfield. Seems you are boyfriend and girlfriend from classic game Friday Night Funkin'. I have no idea what that is," said Garfield with observance. "Yeah, that's us," said girlfriend with approval of Garfield. "But what are you fine celebrities doing in this death hole?" asked Garfield with wondering. "Jesus fucking Christ, it was terrible," said boyfriend with bad memories. "Just minding our own business, chilling the combination Hot Topic and Buffalo Wild Wings and Smash Burger and Doritos and Kuban and Icro and a snip when boom, suddenly these stupid looking idiots ran through the wall with their pickup trucks and shot us with tranquilizer guns, and woke up, we were forced at gunpoint to make them their dumbass videos," said boyfriend with explanation. That is a lot of things smashed together. "There's no need to worry no more. You may now run free like the squirrels of the wood," said Garfield with freedom. "Thanks, Garfield. How can we repay you?" said girlfriend with offers. "Oh, there's a way you can repay me, you sassy woman," said Garfield with soft voice of seductive dove. I just read the next line. "Oh boy, I love sex fucking," said girlfriend with eagerness as she ripped her dress off in one hand motion like throwing a frisbee. Frisbee is trademarked. It actually has the little TM on it. Leaving her in her underwear. But as Garfield was about to begin the lovemakings, he heard his phone ring with noise sounds and picked it up swiftly. "Who calls me? I have important matter to deal with," said Garfield with questions as girlfriend awkwardly stood there almost naked, waiting for Garfield to be done on the phone. "Hi, this is Mandel, the author of this story. I don't want to write about Garfield and girlfriend fucking, so make your intimacies quick. Chop chop," said author on phone with no respect for true art. That's amazing. "What?" roared Garfield with unrest. "Watch your mouth, fucker. You're lucky I'm letting you fuck anyone at all. Now do your business and make with haste," said author on phone with final orders as he hung up the phone. This is like when fucking what's his name called the author during the Ghost Hunters Adventure Club. This is like super weird fourth wall breaking. Garfield threw phone at the wall with anger as he turned to girlfriend. "Sorry, sweetheart. Due to matters outside my control, make love with haste," said Garfield with solemnness. "Sad face," said girlfriend with sadness. Garfield and girlfriend then made short lovemakings while boyfriend watched taking notes filled with graphs, formulas, and proofs, which made Garfield extremely proud. I'm trying to read this quickly, just because of that. After his brief love fest, girlfriend put her clothes back on, and Garfield bid them farewell to continue on his mission. "Bye, Garfield. Thanks for saving us," said boyfriend and girlfriend as they walked to their house. Meanwhile, at YouTube headquarters, the clickbait YouTubers were still at their champagne party, with Susan Wojciechowski received an urgent message on the PDA.
Beep boop bop. Lanky Box members 1 and 2 are unresponsive. Presumed dead. All employees enter position immediately. This is not a drill,
said the PA with emergency. Great heavens! The time for action is now! Everyone prepare for a one-man invasion! Said Susan Wojcicki with hurry as the clickbait YouTubers entered their battle stations and Mr. Beast ran of his clickbait motorcycle with his minions to stop Garfield. Back in Garfield's pickup truck with Lasagna license plate, Garfield was cruising towards YouTube headquarters with maximum speed. But suddenly, Garfield saw something on the horizon. It was Mr. Beast and his clickbait cohorts on motorcycles. After they came close to Garfield, they started going backwards so they could stay with Garfield on the road. Hello everybody and welcome to today's video. In this video we're going to destroy this car with a rocket launcher, said Mr. Beast in marketable YouTuber voice. I know I didn't do like an impression. I actually have no idea what Mr. Beast sounds like. I've never watched one of those videos. After talking about rocket launchers, he took out a rocket launcher and launched a rocket with rocket launchers and his henchmen for rocket launching with launching intent. I love this writing. Rocket launchers? Cheating bastards. Those are not real, shouted Garfield with objection. Viewers at home, I want you to smash that like button at the same time we fire our rockets. Ready? On one, said Mr. Beast with marketing.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 5, 4, 3.
That fucking sound, I love it, said the rocket launcher as it charged. Abaku! It was John Arbuckle launching out of the ground and killing all of Mr. Beast's minions, and also Mr. Beast himself, using a 1,000-degree knife. Remember those? No. I need to find out what a 1,000-degree knife is. Hold on. Hold on. I'm confused now. What is a 1,000-degree knife? I'm looking it up. Oh, it's just like a super hot knife? Oh yeah, people did that for a while, didn't they? Now that I looked it up, I do know what a 1,000-degree knife is. So, okay, yes. Without drivers, all of the motorcycles exploded like a radio at maximum volume in the microwave. What? John Arbuckle, you never fail to save me when I'm in a pickle. Also, I hate pickles, said Garfield with hating pickles, as John Arbuckle fell into the passenger seat from the sunroof like silver ribbon winning gymnast. Cool. No problem, Garfield. I'm always eager to help. With his partner in tow, Garfield and John Arbuckle then rode to YouTube headquarters for final showdown. When they arrived at YouTube headquarters, it was as intimidating as they had thought. The headquarters lit up the night like a mushroom cloud. There were dozens of wires and iron beams and spotlights and ads for various products that most likely employed consumer hostile business practices. It looked less like an office headquarters and more like an amusement park of evil, where the entire park doubled as the gift shop. At the entrance, there was a bouncer preventing the entrance of the unworthy. At sight of security measures, John Arbuckle chortled with mocking. "Ha! That bouncer can't take your manliness," said John Arbuckle with superiority. "I appreciate your kind words, but there's unforeseen danger around every corner," said Garfield with observance as he pointed to a mosquito heading towards the bouncer. "What about that mosquito?" said John Arbuckle with wondering. As the bouncer noticed the mosquito, it fired its laser eyes, laser fingers, laser toes, laser nose, laser mouth, and laser epidermis at the mosquito, causing it to explode in merciless fury of flame, like a man with unusually severe Tourette's syndrome. What? "Oh," said John Arbuckle. "Looks like we need to find another way in," said John Arbuckle with thought. As they circled the brim of the headquarters, they found a fascinating sight. A man was banging a metal detector against a wall 15 times a second with unparalleled speed. "Fast man, what are you doing? You will never break through a wall mindlessly like that. You must use both brain and brawn to conquer obstacles," said Garfield with wisdom. "I am Game Theory, I am looking for treasure," said Game Theory with maximum force. I am looking for treasure of justice. I must get into YouTube headquarters to administer justice. Can you help me in any way, fine man? Asked Garfield. I can help. I am trusted YouTube member. They will let me through, said Game Theory, with helping out, as he put Garfield and John Arbuckle in his pockets and walked them past the bouncer like a glitching Gmod ragdoll. Just imagine him like flopping through the door. The bouncer gave Game Theory a thumbs up as he walked past. Game Theory then took out Garfield and John Arbuckle from his pocket. Thank you, Game Theory. How did you do that? Said John Arbuckle in amazement. 5 Nights at Freddy's, said Game Theory, with 5 Nights at Freddy's. In any case, farewell, you interesting man, said Garfield with farewells. Okay, bye, Garfield. I'm going to go look for treasure, said Game Theory in maximum voice as he ran away at like 5 gazillion miles per hour. What an interesting encounter. However, the bouncer overheard Game Theory's words and looked towards John Arbuckle and Garfield with discovery. Alert! Said the bouncer as he sounded the alarm, which signaled the clickbait YouTubers to get to their battle stations. Garfield, we've been discovered. We must rush with haste, said John Arbuckle with urgency. And prepare for battle while doing so, said Garfield in response as they ran off. As they ran on ahead into YouTube headquarters, they found their first obstacle. It was Ryan's Toys Review. Who? He was wearing a jetpack made of toy machine guns, firing Orbeez and propelling him into the air. Ryan leaned back to fire bullets at Garfield, but Garfield put up his middle finger at him, and his child mind could not comprehend the rude gesture, causing him to immobilize. He then moved his middle finger to bounce the Orbeez into his left side, causing him to spin faster and faster until he was rising like a helicopter far into the sky, never to be seen again. Upon vanquishing that enemy, 5 identical men blocked Garfield's path. The sight was as mysterious as morally questionable sausage. Morally questionable sausage! Halt, intruder, said all 5 of the identical men with unison. The 5 men were Preston Shorts, Preston Plays, Preston Games, Preston Reacts, and the award for Children's Channel, whose name sounds closest to a slur, goes to TBNR Frags. Don't like that name. Makes me uncomfortable. They had aligned in line formation to attack Garfield, but Garfield put 2 manly fingers in his mouth and manfully whistled a manly whistle. At Garfield's manly whistling, a custom Harley-Davidson motorcycle ran through the wall and defeated an entire line of identical men. Garfield then performed a gymnast jump and hopped on the motorcycle to Susan Wojciechowski's champagne room. As they entered Susan Wojciechowski's champagne room, Susan Wojciechowski was on the other side of a massive table. The table was so massive that space seemed to curve to contain its massiveness. Susan Wojciechowski was facing away from Garfield in ominous chair. Oh, hello there, Garfield. And not so great John Arbuckle. What brings you to my office? Said Susan Wojciechowski with sarcasm, already knowing the answer. Capitalist pig, your infinite conquest for revenue has led to the suffering of the innocents. How can you do such things with constant smile on your face? And what do you think makes my comrade in arms not so great? Asked Garfield, with rage coming out of his nostrils. Oh, you must not have seen what my friends have seen, said Susan Wojciechowski, with ominousness, as she gestured to her large flat-screen television set, fit for evil genius. Then video began to play on television. It showed a woman and John Arbuckle fighting in the harsh snow. "Ill into my chocolate milkshake," said the television with static distortion as recording began mid-sentence. "Where did you find this footage?" said John Arbuckle with confusion tongue. "Our good friends at Meta Incorporated are masters at data collection. They collect things that you may have forgotten or even want to hide," she said with snide evil as she gestured once again to the television set. Garfield watched with curious catness as he saw the footage showed John Arbuckle saying something he would never expected him to say. I'm not going to repeat that because it's kind of racist. But something about Garfield teach me that love and life is only worth freedom, said John Arbuckle with racism as he sliced the woman in two with his Arbuckle ancestral katana as the footage came to a stop. At shocking sight, Garfield collapsed to his knees with trembling. No! Screamed Garfield. I'm gonna have to put that thing from whatchamacallit in there. Screamed Garfield inescapable revelations. As Garfield anguished with despair, Susan Warbadabasky pressed a button which rose the walls of the champagne room, revealing dozens upon dozens of DMCA robots.
Community guidelines violation detected. As such, IT is the hour of dismemberment.
Chanted the DMCA robots with unison. No, I can explain. It was the fault of, said John Arbuckle with worry, but he was cut off by the now crying Garfield as he grabbed onto John Arbuckle's shoulders. John Arbuckle, how could you? You of all people should know the color of people's outsides does not matter, only the color of people's insides, said Garfield with despair. As the two bickered, the DMCAs inched closer and closer, unchallenged. Oh, we here at YouTube Incorporated have no tolerance for such racism, and we see your elimination as appropriate response. Thank you for cooperating, said Susan Warbadabasky with evil, sarcastic, evil corporate speak. All hope had seemed destroyed, when all of a sudden a familiar voice was heard by all. Hey, bitches, what's up? Said a young voice from the room's entrance. Everyone in the room stopped to see that it was in fact Odie. What? Who is this insolent dog? How did you get in? Said Susan Warbadabasky with bewilderment. With a little help from my friend here, said Odie with information as he pointed to boyfriend from classic game Friday Night Funkin' from earlier. What? Him? But you work for... said Susan Warbadabasky with panic. Yeah, well, Garfield saved me, and we're gonna sing you and your robots to death, said boyfriend with challenge as he took out a boombox which started playing epic breakcore beat that allowed for the awesome singing of Odie and his new friends. There's like a whole song. Here we go. Alright, fuckers, here's the deal. The girl runs the place, her mind isn't real. What is your soul, a military computer? If that's the case, you don't seem to use her. You had a chance to be a real person like us, but you gave that fate exploding encephalitis. You see happy people as a problem to solve, but I'll devour your followers. I cannot dissolve. And then, for the enactment of their true plan, the song transitioned to hyper-fast extra-tone drum beat. The DMCA robots tried to analyze the songs as they sung, but the extremely fast drum speed was so fast it overflowed their computer chips with data, causing the dozens of robots in the room to explode in near-nuclear explosion, like a herd of fire-breathing elephants at the world's largest gas station. This caused our heroes to be blasted with flaming fire, and Susan Warbadabasky was launched hundreds of miles away. After the smoke cleared, almost all of YouTube headquarters was reduced to rubble, leaving only our heroes barely standing. Is everyone okay? Said Garfield, with slight worry. Don't worry, everyone's fine and stuff, except for that bitch Susan Law, probably plummeted into a planting of a head with a bunch of dicks, said boyfriend, with information. That painting boyfriend mentioned is real, and I had to see it in art gallery. It was not a good experience. I don't want to see it. It sounds horrifying. As boyfriend said this, John got up from the rubble. Oh, thank goodness you're okay, Garfield. I'm so sorry they showed you that, but I can explain, said John Arbuckle, with explaining. As Odie cut him off with good intentions, he began to speak with information. Don't worry, pal. You're all good. I saw what Garfield saw, and while you said was wrong, it wasn't your fault. Outside forces were at work. What outside forces? Asked Garfield, with concern, as Odie began to speak, while expository music began to play in the background. Remember when John Arbuckle fought to take down the assassins? Of course he couldn't do it alone. To employ the help of some of the most fierce heroes the country has to offer. One of those people was, of course, the first president of the United States, George Washington. But as a good man as he became, the thing about George Washington, he's really fucking old. Older than any mortal man. Like over 250 years. And you know what that means? He's racist. And because he was around John Arbuckle for a long time, a good amount of the racist crumbs on his body fell off and landed on John. Racist crumbs, everybody. I love it. Temporarily changing his brain to be more susceptible to racism. But that was many years ago, and the effect of that, the racism flakes wears off after a couple hours. So he's more than okay now, explained Odie with information. Oh, I see. How could I have let such corporate deceptions get to my head? I am sorry, good friend John Arbuckle. The fact that I did not think of something so obvious is a grievous error on my part, said Garfield with sincerest apologies. No worries, Garfield. We all make mistakes sometimes, said John Arbuckle with forgiveness as he gave a forgiveness hug to Garfield. Wait, though, said Boyfriend with concern. If Susan's fucking dead or something, who's gonna be the CEO of YouTube? I mean, his site's up and stuff. Garfield looked at the young boy with many knowledge and gave him words of wisdom. Whoever said there needed to be a CEO? In my eyes, every video uploaded on that site for the world to see. It's now as free as can be. No longer shackled by an evil force choosing what is profitable and what isn't. I say we leave him free, like the squirrels of the wood. Always the squirrels. I like it. Said Garfield with motivational musings. Oh, yeah, you're right, dude, said Boyfriend with great respect for Garfield. With that said, Garfield then whistled for his custom Harley-Davidson motorcycle, to which came quickly from the rubble. He then snapped his fingers, causing a special feature on the motorcycle to reveal 2 extra seats for Odie and their new friend. Now I feel it's about the time we get going. I feel I have some unfinished business with your red dress pal, said Garfield with romance on his mind. As he said this, his phone buzzed, and the author of the story piped in once more. Please, for the love of God, just do it off screen, said Mandel, the author of the story, with an annoyed tongue. Oh, don't worry, I'll do it when I'm off screen, just like you do when you're off screen. Right, author? Said Garfield, with challenge. Well, no, you see, I'm Arrow Ace, which means I feel no romantic sexual attraction, said Mandel with information before he was cut off. There's a link to the no bitches meme, quipped Boyfriend with cleverness. Cool. Garfield, John Arbuckle, and Odie all laughed at Boyfriend's funny quip as they all rode off into the sunset, now happy that videos on YouTube are free from evil's grasp, and the future for all following videos, and the world as a whole, is just a little bit brighter. The end. Author's note. I finally got this thing out. Pretty happy to finish this since I have a really bad habit of procrastinating. I've been working on and off in this story since March? Mr. Christ, that's way too fucking long. But I guess that's just motivation for me to get my next Garfield story out in a timely manner. Not to rush it, just to keep at it. After all, I want all the timely jokes to be timely. Here's hoping my next banger comes out in a time I'm happy with. Until next time, I'll see you later. Have a great day. It's been real. There's a bunch of stage directions, but as we all know, you should never tell editor Moonhorse to do anything because he will make it weird. Post-credits scene. Susan Warbajadaski woke up in an unfamiliar forest as the post-credits scene begins. She had made a crater in the ground when she landed. Where am I? Said Susan Warbajadaski with great concern. Where you are does not matter, traitor, said a man in a dark cloak behind her. Who are you? What are you doing here? Asked Susan Warbajadaski with great fear. The real question is, what is this? Said the cloaked figure as he took out his iPhone and showed her a video on YouTube. I mean, it's video, but what about it? Said Susan Warbajadaski with great fear. You see this video, said the figure, removing his cloak, revealing his identity. Is Nintendo copyrighted property. With his face now visible, Susan Warbajadaski could now see it was none other than Shigeru Miyamoto. Now seeing that he is a hostile threat, the once powerful CEO began to stumble backwards out of fear. Don't worry, it's just a mistake. Well, give me some time, I can get it back, right back to my office and get the uploader killed deader than a... But she was cut off by her neck being grabbed by none other than Chris Pratt in a Mario costume. Let's go, he said in his demonic demon voice that sounded nothing like Mario as shadows grew and morphed around the three. teleporting the two Nintendo businessmen and the former CEO to evil places unknown. To be continued. That was actually really, really good. Thank you so much for that, Mandelbrot. That was really funny. I was not expecting that. You know, sometimes you guys write things, and every now and then I try to predict what it is that I'm gonna see. Like, you know, try to be ahead of the weird things. But sometimes just the amount of weird shit that pops up really throws me. I remember a while back somebody wrote a whole Neckbeard fan fiction, and for the life of me, it's slipping my mind. And then just randomly, I was in it, which was a little... I wasn't expecting that. But the fact that evil Chris Pratt Mario ended this is really amazing. So, this was really good. I will definitely... I definitely enjoyed this, and I hope you all did too. So if you did, make sure you do the whole like, comment, subscribe, mainly because, you know, YouTube doesn't like that, but Susan Flasky doesn't like small channels, so fuck it, do it anyway. If you want to support this channel, I have a Ko-Fi and a merch store, because this channel, much like PBS, is supported by viewers like you. Thanks a lot. And if you have your own story, whatever strange thing you want to send me, send it to my subreddit at Moonhorse Stories. I'll definitely check it out. And if you want to see this stuff being recorded live, every weekend I do that. Monday nights we record stories, but during the weekend we do fun stuff too. So make sure to check all that out, and check out our links and all that other good stuff. Either way, I love you all so very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.